Good evening, everyone. I think all the teachers and the students are just about getting back home from school. So we will just wait for a couple of more minutes for others to join, and then we'll start momentarily. Good evening again. I think we normally start these webinar sessions asking, am I audible? So I'm going to ask, am I audible? And the chat is enabled. So if I can request everybody to say yes, no, maybe a thumbs up, that would be lovely. So I think I am audible, am I not? Yes, great. Yes. Okay, thank you, Kamya ji. Thank you so much. Great. All right, so welcome back. I love our Science 101 webinars because this is so informative, and I am in awe of the work that CSIR and its various agencies do. So I'm really, really excited, especially about this one, because this is truly, truly unique. So just to sort of start off with our webinar series, as you all know, This webinar is being recorded and we are also streaming it live on our YouTube channel so that the students can view it. I know that this is a time when most schools, students and teachers have their exams, but I'm sure since it's recorded and will be available on YouTube, please do share it onwards with all the students of your school. So the mic video have been disabled. I've left the chat on for now, but the mic, your mics and videos have been disabled. During question answer round, of course, we'll enable if need comes to it. So just to provide everybody with a quick overview about what the webinar about Science 101, and just to go over all the partners. So we are organizing this, and I represent United Schools Organization of India. I'm not turning my camera on because we are having a little bit of a network issue in our area, so I didn't want to eat too much bandwidth. But I represent United Schools Organization of India. We were established in 1951 with an aim to advance the social, cultural, and moral standards of schools in India to global levels. We conduct various competitions, campaigns, programs, webinars, and others so that we can increase awareness about various issues of global and social concern to schools so that the students grow up to be global citizens, especially in this day and age. And for this, we are partnering with CSIR-NIScPR. Now, I think by the 12th webinar, I hope everybody knows all full forms, but I'll say it anyways. The CSIR stands for the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Now, it was established by the government of India in September 1942. And I didn't know this earlier, but of course, I know it now. It is the largest research and development organizations in India. So we are very fortunate that, every webinar we get to interact with scientists from CSIR. Now, NIScPR, which is formerly NIScPR, our neighbors, so as to speak, in terms of the location, they are located in New Delhi, and they are an information science institute in India, founded in 2002. So we also have Mr. C.B. Singh. Sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Jan. First of all, a very good evening to all the students, teachers who had joined, and especially to Dr. Sumeet. I express my gratitude to him that on a very short notice, when he has been too occupied in the Ahmedabad PM's meeting or a PM's conclave of state and center collaboration in the science advancement, he has been very busy. So I approached him, and without any much ado, he simply accepted and reciprocated in a very positive manner. So I was quite surprised and overwhelmed that though we had not met, but he has been so kind enough to accept the invitation jointly sent by CSIR-NIScPR and USO. For the students, I'd like to tell them, as in the previous lectures, that NIScPR is amalgamation of two CSIR labs, CSIR-NIStats and the CSIR-NIScPR. So NIStats, CSIR-NIStats is basically with the science population and the science policy formulation, and the CSIR-NIScPR is known for its research journals and the popular science magazines like Science Reporter, Vigyan Pragati, and Science Ki Duniya. These are very prominent popular magazines, and the main objective of these magazines is to enhance the curiosity among the students to think scientifically, or to inculcate the scientific temper among the students. So they are the popular science magazines which in fact mediate through the different scientific developments which is going on in the CSIR, and in the very simple and the layman language, it has been communicated to the students. So these three magazines, the main objective is to disseminate the scientists in a common language to the students. This particular program, which is the with the MOU between the Kendriya Vidyalayas and the CSIR initially. And then this Jigyasa program was extended to Navodaya Vidyalayas also and the other state government schools. And the basic objective of this Jigyasa is that the students can come close, school students can come close to the science in the different models. Like the students can come to the lab, CSIR labs, make a visit to that, can have a view of what research work is taking place. Then, just like the popular science or the popular lecture series that we are carrying out right now, from the different CSIR scientists in the different domain, in their different research area. So they are interacting, they are giving the invited lectures to the students, and then the students is also able to understand that how a research has been carried out. So simply the students will also be motivated towards going to the science stream. These all are coming under the different models of engagement of the Jigyasa. Then there is a summer vacation programs. During the summer vacation, the students can reach out to the different CSIR labs all over the country and can take the summer vacation programs there. Then there is a scientist as a teachers and the teachers as the scientists. So this model is also the scientist can act as a teachers and the teachers can also act as a scientist by asking the different questions from the scientists. Then there is a teachers workshop, student residential program, visit of the scientists to the schools so that if the schools are not in a position or the students are not in a position to come to, or if they are at the rural state or their distance is a matter, then the scientists can go to the schools and can have a talk with them and then can explain what research they are doing and how it can be beneficial for the students as well. And then there is a lab specific activities like on-site experiments. Recently, our DG ma'am, she is the Dr. Kalai Selvi, she is taking up a small demonstration program of the battery charging, and a demo will take place in the different labs of all the CSIR labs. So these are the different ways and the different modes by which the students and the scientists can compose it, and then they can have a curiosity of the satisfying their myths, whatever the myths are, they are interacting with the scientist. So that was the basic idea of this Jigyasa. Then a new initiative has also been started, which is basically the virtual concept with the virtual lab concept. And this virtual lab concept, this is again a MOU between the Ministry of HRD and the IIT Bombay, so that the contents which the students can develop at their own in their school, the different experiments they can carry out, or the animations on the different the scientific projects they can do, then that particular animation or the films can be uploaded to a platform given to the students. So these are the different models just to bring in or to inculcate the scientific temper among the students. The students can also know, or they can able to hear the success stories of the different scientists. It's an all ways to bring together the science and the students together. So this is the program, the Jigyasa program, that we are also convening by inviting the different scientists from the different CSIR labs so that the students can able to understand what research work they are carrying it out. So this is all about the Jigyasa. I'll go back to Ms. Jan to please go ahead in this webinar series. Thank you.
Thank you, Singh sir. Thank you very much. So just getting ahead with the program, this is the 6th webinar in our series, and this webinar has a very exciting title, which is CSIR-Aroma Mission and the Purple Revolution in J&K. So as usual, we'll follow the same pattern. In case of our webinar, Dr. Sumeet Gairola will talk to us about it, and the teachers and the students who are listening to us through YouTube may ask the questions. But this time we thought we would take you through a quick video first to give you a feel for it, and then I will introduce Dr. Sumeet. So just so that, like how we have trailers in movies, this is going to be the trailer, a quick trailer for our webinar. So please bear with me just one moment, and I hope all of you will be able to listen to this. Just one moment.
एक पत्थर की भी तकदीर संवर सकती है, शर्त यह है कि उसे सलीके से संवारा जाए। इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंटीग्रेटिव मेडिसिन जम्मू का ये प्रयास देख के ये बात सच साबित होती है। IIIM जम्मू ने अरोमा मिशन के अंडर भद्रवा एरिया को लेवेंडर की कल्टीवेशन के लिए चुना था, जिसके आज बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट आए हैं।
सब जाने अकनी चौकमात हर एक बेगड़ी लुवंडर लात, सब जाने अकनी चौकमात हर एक बेगड़ी लुवंडर लात। बिखड़े पधरे सारे हो, बिखड़े पधरे सारे हो, बिखड़े पधरे सारे हो। सब जने एक निश्चो कमात हर एक बेगड़ी लेवेंडर लात, सब जने एक निश्चो कमात हर एक बेगड़ी लेवेंडर लात। सोची माँ केरा तब्दीली सब जन अक्के सोच बनात, सोची माँ केरा तब्दीली सब जन अक्के सोच बनात। सब जन अक निश्चो कमात हर एक बिगड़ी लेवेंडर लात, सब जन अक निश्चो कमात हर एक बिगड़ी लेवेंडर लात। बड़ो ही सुख तो आए उपानो, नहीं लोको कोई पैरो कमानो। बड़ो ही सुख तो आए उपानो, नहीं लोको कोई पैरो कमानो। एक हेठला थे निद तेरा थे, सालन तरफाई दो कमा थे। जाओ बहनो सारे हो, बिखड़े पदरे सारे हो, सब जन एक निश्चो कमात हर एक बिगड़ी लेवेंडर लात। ठंड गर्मी ऐझली गाते, यूं माँ भी खड़ खड़ो राते। ठंड गर्मी ऐझली गाते, यूं माँ भी खड़ खड़ो राते। रोड़ी खुशबू रंग निराले, कीमती हर अक डाले हो, सब जने अक निश्चो कमात हर एक बिगड़ी लेवेंडर लात। शोषनी पूड़ों सजरू डारे, महारानी जनी भोए त्यारे। धार साजन थी भोती ज बहारे पुजोरी अज उडारे उडारे खुशबू के रेहियाले मात हर एक बेगड़िल वेंदर लात सब जन एक निश्चो कमात हर एक बेगड़िल वेंदर लात हर एक बेगड़िल वेंदर लात हर एक बेगड़िल वेंदर लात हर एक बेगड़िल वेंदर लात.
That was beautiful indeed. Just not only the music, but all the photographs, the views, the valley, it was all beautiful. So with that, let me kindly introduce, and we are honored to have you, Dr. Sumeet Gairola, with us today. I'll take a moment to introduce you. Dr. Sumeet is a plant scientist with over 15 years of research experience in taxonomy and ecology of the Western Himalayan flora. His work is focused on understanding the effects of altitude, slope aspects, and anthropogenic disturbances on the flora, the species composition, regeneration, biomass, and carbon stocks of different forest types of Western Himalayas. He has extensively worked on the region's RET, medicinal and aromatic plants, and ethnomedicinal plants used by the various indigenous communities of the Western Himalayas. He has published more than 75 research papers in various national and international journals and has handled 2 industry projects and 6 research projects received from various funding agencies. He is a nodal scientist of CSIR-Aroma Mission and co-nodal scientist of CSIR Phytopharmaceutical Mission from CSIR IIIM Jammu. And the IIIM stands for Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine. As a nodal scientist of CSIR-Aroma Mission, Dr. Sumeet has received the Ultra International Team Award for the innovative and meaningful efforts towards promoting the cultivation and processing of aromatic crops for improving the production of essential oils in India and enhancing the income of large numbers of farmers under this mission. Recently, he, along with his team, have received the CSIR Award for Science and Technology Innovations for Rural Development. And for this, there is the Purple Revolution in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is through the rural development, through lavender cultivation in Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Sumeet, really honored to have you with us. Not only is lavender our favorite color, we made sure that our presentation had lavender in each and every slide, just to stay with the theme. So welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for very nice words and such presentation where you have kept lavender flowers. So I was also observing that. Thank you so much. So I would like to thank Neena Jainji, Secretary General, United Schools Organization of India, and Shri C.B. Singh, Senior Principal Scientist, IT Division, CSIR-NIScPR, for giving me this opportunity to today come here and interact with you people or give this talk on CSIR-Aroma Mission and Purple Revolution in J&K. So I'll just share my slides. So as we know, this CSIR-Aroma Mission and this particularly this Aroma Mission and Purple Revolution in J&K, this particular activity which has got good media coverage as well as good visibility all across country. This has been a flagship project of CSIR. And in this particular project, a lot of scientists from different labs of CSIR are involved. So what I am presenting is a result of hard work of hundreds of scientists of CSIR, not who are working currently, also because the scientists who came before us in last 2, 3, 4 decades, whose work we are now implementing on field. This is one specific project which is example of implementation of the research which we did and the fields. So this is one big example of lab to land project. And since this is a flagship project of CSIR, which has shown that the house science can alleviate or improve the income of the small farmers, especially small marginal farmers in the regions of the country where they themselves can work as a businessman, or they, as such, they have very limited opportunities because maybe because their land is not very conducive for growth of other crops, as well as because of many other reasons, rainfall, salinity, and other things. Here, this project has made a real impact. And this particular project or this particular activity of CSIR-Aroma Mission, we are now continuing it from since 2017 when we started this activity. And in past 5-6 years has made a visible impact across different states of the country. So I hope my slide is visible.
Yes, yes, it is, Dr. Sumeet.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'll start with my presentation is basically divided into 4 parts where I'll just give you a brief introduction about our institute from where I am sitting and right now giving this presentation. And as Neena madam, she already gave full name of that acronym CSIR, that Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. So our institute, that is known as Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, or in Hindi we call it a Bharatiya Samved Paushad Sansthan, is a part of CSIR. So CSIR has a pan-India presence with 37 laboratories all across India. And these all 37 laboratories are at least out of this, one laboratory is in at least one state. There is one laboratory. These all labs are highly specialized in different fields. Our CSIR-IIM Jammu, as we are located in Jammu, our head office is in Jammu. We are specialization, our specialization, or we are working in the field of drug discovery from the natural products, including microbes. So we do a lot of research on drug discovery as well as on medicinal and aromatic plants. So this is part of biological sciences cluster, and CSIR, as we know, that we work in almost each and every advanced scientific field in the country, where we work from physical sciences to chemical sciences, engineering sciences, information sciences, and biological sciences. So CSIR-Aroma Mission project is mainly run by the labs, major labs of biological sciences clusters, where we work with the farmers, we do a lot of science, and we implement this study in the field. CSIR-IIM has a rich legacy, and as Neena ma'am showed that CSIR was started, or it came in existence in 1942. But our lab, which is in Jammu, it was earlier known as Drug Research Laboratory, and it was established by this gentleman, Colonel Sir Ramnath Chopra, and he's also popularly known as the father of Indian pharmacology. He's very big scientist or pharmacologist at that time in the British Army, and he started this lab in 1941, 1 year before CSIR came into existence. Later on, this lab was taken up by CSIR in 1957 and renamed as a regional research laboratory. In 2007, our mandate was revised to drug discovery and name was changed to Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine. We have 2 beautiful campuses. One is in Jammu and one is in Srinagar, which was inaugurated in 1971. And we have a lot of like experimental farms all across J&K at different altitudes, like from 300 meter up till 3,300 meter. We have a farm in Leh, as well as we have a farm in Gulmarg, in Yarika, Pulwama, and Srinagar. So these are very old farms where we do a lot of research on the medicinal and aromatic plants. And this particular lab, CSIR-IIM Jammu, has been instrumental in bringing some of the exotic aromatic plant species in the country and developing a highly useful medicinal and aromatic varieties, which are well used by the industry, and they are well taken by the industry. These are industrial crops, and they are totally different because than the other crops. They are high yielding elite varieties. So these are some of the varieties which our scientists of CSIR-IIM have developed from past like 30-40 years. A lot of varieties of like Jammu Monarda and lavender, clary sage, rosemary, they were first introduced from Europe to India by this lab only. So these are some of the varieties, and we have made a lot of impact on Indian as well as global economy. For example, menthol mint. So this particular mint variety was introduced by IIM. At that time, it was known as RRL in 1958 by Colonel Ramnath Chopra. And later on, it was taken up by our sister laboratory, Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, which is in Lucknow, and they made it a commercial success. Now India is one of the top most exporter of this particular crop. We have a 4,000 crore market. It is grown on more than 2 lakh hectare area. Similarly, pyrethrum, which has a 430 hectares area in 1960s, now it has grown up to a larger area. Similarly, hops in Kashmir, Artemisia annua, which is anti-malarial drug. It was also introduced by Dr. Akhtar Hussain in Bonra farm in Pulwama in Kashmir, which is triple M farm. Its agro-technology was later developed by Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, and it is currently under more than 2,000 hectare cultivation. Then rose on lavender. I'll come later on. I'll show some slides on lavender also. Similarly, high value lemongrass varieties, these which are rich in citral content. So citral is basically a compound which is found in lemon. So what is whatever citrus flavor or whatever flavor of lemon we get is because of this particular compound. And same compound is present in this lemongrass variety, which is now being grown on 1 lakh on like 10,000 hectare area across country. Similarly, CN5, Jammu, Monada, and large number of varieties we have developed. So basically, these are some of the major impacts that this particular CSIR lab has made over the years. And similarly, various other labs of CSIR, they had done same thing. They had developed different varieties of other crops also. And before going to the CSIR-Aroma Mission, I'll just give you a brief idea about what essential oils or these aromatic crops are. So as we know that when we wake up in the morning, and scent or smell is one of our, when we smell something, this is one of our senses. And if there is pleasant smell, our whole day will be good, will feel well alleviated. If it's not good, we may feel bad. And we may even not know the reason behind that, probably because of some certain smells, we may react that way. So when we start our day, we use toothpaste, soap, and many other things. In food, we use cinnamon, we use fennel and other things. They all have certain aroma. And this is because of essential oils, which are in those particular things or these products. Because of those, that aroma, we feel that thing. And this is very integral part of human life. So essential oil are basically compounds, and mostly they are extracted from the plants, and they are responsible for that particular type of aroma, or that aroma or essence of that particular plant. So each and these oils contain aromatic compounds, which have aromatic ring in chemistry, they call. So these aromatic compounds are responsible, and each oil or each aroma may have different unique aromatic compound, because of which there can they have that characteristic essence. So these particular essential oils are mostly produced by plants, but plants do not produce them for no reason or just to impress others. What happens in plants that, like unlike animals or humans, if there is any danger or they have to communicate, or if there is any danger or somebody is trying to come to kill them, they can run. They cannot run. So at that time, either they'll need something to communicate with the other plants, or some kind of mechanism or compound which can save them. So mostly these plants are produced as a chemical. These compounds are produced by the plants for the chemical defense against fungal, viral, or animal foes or enemies. So either they may repel those because of their unpleasant aroma, or either because of their toxicity, they may kill the attacker, or they may attract some pollinator or insect which may help it in its other reproductive activities. There are more than 3,000 essential oils are known, of which 150 are of commercial importance, and they are largely traded in the international market. And currently India is at third position with around 20 to 22% share. This worldwide essential oil production is around $6 billion, and now it's increasing at the pace of around 8% of combined annual growth rate. So these are some basic economics behind these essential oils. And these essential oils are mostly used in perfumery, cosmetics, soaps, detergents, medicine, confectionaries, as a perfume, tobaccos, aerated syrups, disinfectants, aromatherapy. These are some of the uses, but there are many other uses. So their main uses are either plants, or there are some animal sources, just like musk deer, kasturi mrig as we call it in Hindi. So this is in Asian musk deer. There are musk sacs from certain musk aroma comes. Similarly, from civet musk, or ambergris, which is expelled by the sperm whale, or it is known as amber in the perfumery industry, or also from the honeycomb of the distilled from the honeycombs of the honeybee. These are some animal sources. However, most of them are produced from the plant sources, like either root of vetiver, like khas. During summers, we drink a lot of khas thandai. Similarly, from wood, you may get some smell from your new wood furniture, if it is made from cedar wood or sandal or pine. From bark, from leaves, buds, different plant parts are there from which these aromatic oils or essential oils can be taken out. Some we use as a spices, some as a perfumery, some for the flavor industry, of which globally around 50% of this oil comes from the cultivated source. The rest comes from the byproducts of the primary industry, like we can say that the peel of the lemon juice or lemon fruit. Fruit is used to take out juice, and peel can be used to harvest this essential or citrus oil. Similarly, production is around 120,000 tons, and out of 110 essential oil, which comprise 95% of the global consumption in fragrance and flavor industry, 31% are from India. These essential oils are mostly used in the flavor and fragrance, like just to give vanillin for vanilla essence. Similarly, for rose essence, rose water or gulab jal we use. So in these 4 different categories, they are used. Major producers of these essential oils are Brazil, China, Egypt, India, Mexico, Guatemala, Indonesia, and we all are developing countries. And mostly these are used or consumed by the developed countries. But now in developing countries like India, a lot of people are now using these essential oils, and lot of products are coming. And some essential oils are produced in developed countries also, like mostly lavender, which is primarily European crop where it is produced. These are some of the major essential oils which we consume: orange oil, corn mint oil, spearmint oil, peppermint oil. Most of the oil is produced is orange oil, and then corn mint oil. Similarly, cedarwood oil, citronella oil, lavender, rosemary. So these are just some different oils. So when you see some product and there is some aroma, you can check its sticker if some oil or its essence has been used. So primarily, recently, mostly natural aroma is being preferred over the synthetic ones. So there is huge demand for these oils because most of them are used for the relaxation purposes. For example, lavender oil, it has a very good property. It reduces inflammation, as well as if somebody is having a problem of insomnia or depression. So in that case, this particularly lavender oil is very useful. So similarly, peppermint oil, lemon oil, these are some of the uses ranging from various medicinal properties to, I'm not getting into full details, but they are basically used for various medicinal as well as other alleviating or making people happy properties. These oils, they contain mostly alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, phenols, esters, ethers, and terpenes in varying proportion. And these are some of the components of these essential oil. So each oil which is taken out from the plant, they may have different components. And terpenes, mostly monoterpenes, which are present, and this in some oils they are present in higher quantities, because of which. So I'll try to keep it a very simple without getting into a lot of details or making it technical. So these are certain compounds we can see here, like a geraniol or citrinol or linalool. These are the certain compounds which has aroma and has market value. Simply, they are taken up by a very simple method. Plant as well as water is kept in one big, we'll say, drum. Direct fire is given. As when we give it a fire, water reaches its boiling point. It gets to gaseous form. These essential oils, they also evaporate. They go to gaseous form. Then that gas is passed through the condenser where cooling water is there. So they once again condense. They are taken out by oil separator. Since oil is lighter than the water, most of the oils are lighter than the water, except few. They are easily taken out and separated from each other. So various methods are there. Basically, hydrodistillation or water distillation method. water and steam distillation, or steam distillation, where instead of heat, directly steam is given and same method is followed. So there are various other traditional methods like Bhakpa method or these methods. So there is one place known as Kannauj in UP, which is known as the fragrance capital of the country, where a lot of itr of gulab or rose itr is produced by this traditional method. These are some of the representative pictures. So there are a lot of things going on here. So overall, in a nutshell, we grow a plant which has essential oil. It is processed and its oil or essential oil is taken out, which has certain property and market value. So this is just an overview of the essential oil and how it is taken out or how much it has industrial or economic value. So now coming on to the CSIR-Aroma Mission, like I said, as we saw that there is a huge market opportunity for these essential oils. Most of the high value aroma oils are produced from Europe and other developed countries. And there is a large market demand for these essential oils. And at the same time, institutes like IIIM Jammu and other CSIR institutes, they have been working in this field from past 30-40 years, and they have developed a lot of high value, economically important industrial crops of these aromatic varieties. So what we thought is that since CSIR has been working from many years, we have played a significant role in development of aroma industry in India. And we have developed many aroma-based entrepreneurs. But what happened is that most of the people who used to come to us, we used to give this technology to them. We used to transfer this technology. So around 2016-17, when Prime Minister gave us task to develop or improve or at least double the income of farmers, but our scientists or our directors or scientific leadership, they discussed about it a lot, and they came up with this idea that we'll now implement this technology. Instead of people coming to us, we'll go to the farmers, especially target those small or marginal farmers whose production is very low. They are getting very little amount of money from their existing crop pattern. And since most of these crops are very hardy, so they can easily grow, very little pest infestation is there, and they have market demand, we'll give them this technology, support them from end to end, from giving them quality planting material of the varieties which we have developed and which have market demand, up till the product development or processing, and finally skill development stage. This project CSIR-Aroma Mission came in being in 2017. The first phase of CSIR-Aroma Mission started in 2017 April, and now we are into second phase, which started in 2021 after completion of first phase, and now it will be completed by 2023. So basically, Nodal Institute is Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants. And there are other participating institutes like CSIR IIIM Jammu, IHBT Palampur Institute of Himalayan Bioresource Technology, National Botanical Research Institute Lucknow, Northeast Institute of Science and Technology Jorhat Assam, and Unit for Research and Development of Information Products Maharashtra in Pune. So we all came together and we formulated this particular project where the best varieties which we have, especially the varieties which have market demand, we decided to bring additional area under captive cultivation of these aromatic crops. We mainly targeted rain-fed or degraded land where production was very low. And our aim was to provide technical and infrastructural support to the farmers, and for which we use cluster approach. Since farmers are very small, they are only getting like for 1 acre, they are getting 20,000 rupees per acre output. We made their clusters. We gave them this technology, and then we also gave them infrastructural support as well as scientific support up till the buyback mechanism, their connection with the industry, where their product once harvested can be sold. So this activity we did, and our mission statement was catalyzing rural empowerment through cultivation, processing, validation, marketing of aromatic plants. And this is one of its kind of project where we worked on different verticals, starting from the development of superior varieties and their technologies, and providing quality planting material to the farmer, giving them technology of how to grow those crops. Once their crop is mature, we support them in processing. Once oil comes out, their product is out, we test it, provide testing report, and connect them with the industry. and do lot of skill development activities. I know this is a lot of activities, and you may not catch up, like so many activities are there, and you will feel that I'm going too fast. But in a sense, the basic aim of the project is to support farmers by implementing the science or technologies which have been developed by CSIR labs and give them to the farmers on their field and show them on pilot scale that these are the crops which are beneficial, they'll support you, and make them entrepreneurs or bring them under these cultivation of these crops so that they could earn much more than what they are traditionally earning. These are some of the crops which are whose varieties were developed by different CSIR labs, and different CSIR labs, especially these 5 labs, IIIM, IHBT, CMAP, NIST and NBRI, we are implementing them in the field. Clarisage, it is European crop. It has very good market demand. It has been introduced in India. Similarly, damask rose, as we call it, it's gulab. Gulabitra and rose water is made from this particular crop. Jammu monarda, Java citronella is a crop from which we make insect repellents, mostly the patches which are used by small kids and parents. They put those patches. There is this unpleasant smell. It is because of the oil of Java citronella. Khas, we all know, we use it as a thandai, lavender, lemongrass, mentha, mushbala. So these are some of the crops. So each crop has a different market in itself, and they are highly suitable for different altitudinal ranges. Like we at IIIM, we are extending and providing these 14 crops to farmers in different regions of the country. Certain crops like Jammu monarda, lemongrass, basil and rosa grass, they are very suitable for tropical, subtropical regions. And the places where we go, what we do, we follow this particular SOP in a simple way. Like we know that these are the crops which has market demand. There are companies who are looking for oil of these crops, and we are importing these oils, or either there is potential to export oil of these crops. We first go to different villages in different states, and we are working in more than 25 states across country. We have awareness come training programs of 1 day. We have a meeting with the farmers. We tell them that these are the crops you can grow. These are certain alternatives. So out of, like, if we have 100 farmers, 20-30 farmers, they agree. We register them, we develop their cluster, we give them field demonstration and provide quality planting material from our farms and certain other places to those farmers. From time to time, we support them in monitoring, for which our scientists from all the labs, they go to field. Then once their crop is ready, we install a distillation unit, because hydro distillation is required for taking out essential oil of these crops, and small farmers, they cannot afford a unit which is of like 8 or 10 lakh rupees. So in a particular clusters, if there are 20-30 farmers and they are growing these crops on 20-30 acres of area, we install one distillation unit which may cost around 8-10 lakhs. So we make their clusters, we train those farmers, they themselves run these distillation units and take out the oil. Once oil is out, we test it, do its GCMS, that is gas chromatography and mass spectroscopic oil analysis, its quality evaluation. Reports are forwarded to the industry. Industry directly come to them and purchase that material. This is the SOP we are following. In addition, a lot of scientific activities are going on, like multi-locational trials or development of varieties, so that these crops could be further refined and which could be passed on to the farmers. When we give this quality planting material to the farmers, we generate this quality planting material at our farms, this certified material, so that the product or oil is of same quality at every place. Material we generate, we give token amount of material to the farmer free of cost, and then farmer grows that. So these are some of our activities we have taken up in different parts of the country, like in Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Kashmir, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, in different parts of the country. Like even in the interior regions of J&K, where we have introduced this lavender, we take help of the army and other district authorities. Very interior regions like Doda, Kishtwar, Pulwama, Ramban, where these crops have been given to the farmers. Farmers are now growing these crops. In the remote regions of Ladakh, like in Nubra, Pheo, Matho, Ego, these our team members, they go and give this material. Not only in J&K, in Ladakh, we are working in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, different districts of Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, So these are different regions where we have given this material, and so far we, at least CSIR-IIM Jammu, we have ourselves have done more than 400 awareness programs and trained 1500 people in the cultivation, processing, value addition, and marketing of these aromatic crops. And now a lot of people, now earlier very few people used to know about these aromatic crops and what are requirements for these crops and how to grow these crops. Now we have a lot of people who know about these crops. They are skilled manpower available with us. So in 5 years, we could make that difference. And these are some of the pictures of awareness programs which we do in different parts of the country, in Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh. So this is pan-India activity where we go and interact with the farmers on the field. Instead of calling them to our lab and asking them to come to our lab and learn at our farms, we go to their field, demonstrate them, and interact with them. Similarly, in Kashmir, and these, like I was saying, that since small farmer, they cannot install distillation unit, they cannot afford it. So we, as at a IIIM, we have installed more than 73 distillation units at around in 12 different states. And these are some of the pictures of those distillation units where farmers, these are some of the pictures of farmers who themselves are now managing these distillation units. We are working in the border areas like Nilong Valley in Uttarakhand, in the Naxalite affected tribal belt of Chhattisgarh, where income is very low of the farmers, like farmers are getting just like 10 to 15,000 rupees per acre. Now they are getting 60 to 70,000 rupees per acre. And this is pan-India activity of all the labs of CSIR, where all the CSIR labs together have covered more than 26,000 hectares area in past 6 years, 5 to 6 years. And this map shows the extent of activities our scientists, our team members have done and have gone and have helped farmers in the areas. These are some of the success of this particular aroma mission, and this is success of different CSIR labs. Like India has for the first time become Atmanirbhar in the lemongrass, which was also shown by the our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in the Man Ki Baat. He also talked about that. Our labs, CSIR CMAP Lucknow, and some of our labs like IIIM, we have extended lemongrass in different regions, and there India has become Atmanirbhar. Farmers' income has increased from at least 30 to 70,000 rupees. We have reached around 80 to 20 tribal districts across country. And now India, instead of importing lemongrass, now India has for the first time exported more than 600 tons of lemongrass outside India. Similarly, one major activity or introduction of wild marigold in the Himachal Pradesh is major success of CSIR Institute of Himalayan Bioresource Technology, where Him Gold and Him Swarnima varieties of wild marigold were introduced in those regions. And now this is being taken up as a golden revolution, in a sense that income of farmer has increased like 2 to 3 times. And India for the first time has produced more than 655 ton of marigold oil, and India has also become Atmanirbhar in this. So these are some of the major activities or success of CSIR-Aroma Mission, and these are just a few. A lot of things are happening on ground across country, and since students are teachers are there, so many students, they may be from rural areas where they may have land, they may want to try some of these crops or need our technical expertise. You are most welcome to contact us, and we'll be coming there. We'll support you in that also. CSIR, different labs of CSIR are already doing that. But this one particular activity, as was title of this particular talk, and in the beginning, you saw that particular video. So that video, you'll be wondering which language is that, in which that particular song is. So that song is in Bhadarwahi language. So it is a dialect of Pahadi language or Hindi language in some extent. As I understand, it's from the Jammu region. And the local people of that particular district, Bhadarwa or Doda or Kishtwar districts, those people, they speak that dialect or language. And in that particular region, although our lavender cultivation has, lavender CSIR has introduced to more than 20 districts of J&K, as well as in the neighboring states of Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, as well as in the Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. But a very visible result or very visible change we could see in this particular district of Doda, In Kashmir, a lot of our farmers are growing, but in Doda district, now CSIR provided, Triple IM specially provided more than 25 lakh lavender plants. Lot of farmers were trained in nursery preparation. And now, as you can see, these beautiful pictures, these are the lavender plants which we earlier used to see in the Bulgaria or France or European countries, because there are a lot of tourism of lavender tourism in these countries. So now for the first time, we can see it in these particular districts of J&K, where a lot of farmers are growing, and their income, more than 1,000 lavender farmers are there now. And their income has increased from like 20,000 rupees to more than 2 lakh rupees per acre. Almost 8 to 10 times their income has increased. Now, a lot of young women have been trained in the nursery preparation. They are preparing their nursery. They are directly selling it to other authorities. Oil production has increased, although it is still at nascent or very, it has just started to come up. In coming years, it will be like 10, 20 times in next 1 or 2 or 3 years. And a lot of farmers, they have been trained in this particular activity. So the basic aim of this particular activity was to increase or enhance income of the farmers. So the traditional farmers who were there, they used to grow maize, and now their income, they used to hardly get 20,000 rupees. Their income has increased more than 2 lakh rupees. So celebrate this activity. And for the first time, like at this level, recently on 25th and 26th May 2022, CSIR Triple IM had this lavender festival for the first time at Bhadarwa region. So as you'll see, you can search on internet, you'll see in Europe, that is annual event. In France, in Bulgaria, even in California and US and other parts of US, where they grow this lavender, ecotourism is there. When there is flowering, so land is like full of these flowers, everything turns purple. So based on that, media gave it a name of Purple Revolution in J&K. And since it is making a difference in the lives of the farmers, this is like a revolution in a real sense. But now we are stepping it up, taking it to the next level. So in this particular lavender festival, more than 2,500 farmers participated. Industry came from outside J&K, from different states of the India. Young entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs from Northern India, they came. We had a lot of activities from local school children, college going children, traditional activities. And our Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, was chief guest. And so this was one of the success events. So we are planning to have this as an annual event where it could help a lot of farmers, not only directly by selling oil or flower of lavender, but also in a sense that it may develop an ecotourism industry around it. Because in Europe, most of the people will spend like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 rupees just as a ticket to visit these farms. And since many of us who have money in our cities, we wish to visit certain areas. So it will not only help our tourists to come to this place, but also develop an industry around it. So for this particular successful activity of lavender cultivation, CSIR Triple IM Jammu got Cared Award and CSIR Award for S&T Innovations for Rural Development for 2020. It was awarded to Triple IM. This particular activity was covered by Week, British newspaper Guardian, as well as it was internationally covered by like a Guardian newspaper or France. France is well known for lavender cultivation. Their national channel people, they came, they covered this activity, and various at different places this activity has been covered. So this is like a major success of this Aroma Mission, this Purple Revolution, and we also invite a lot of students and teachers to visit certain areas in these areas where these lavender crops and enjoy this particular region. So thank you. This is basically about CSIR-Aroma Mission, where this is one of its kind of a project where everything we have covered, from planting material to training farmers up till industry. So which is one USP of this particular project. So I hope I have completed my presentation well before 5:30, because it is like a lot of things are going on in this particular project. So just to give you a brief overview or snapshot, I have just covered this activity. So I think I thank you all the students who are patiently listening to this, and the teachers. So I am open to any questions you may have. Ma'am.
Yes. Absolutely, sir. Thank you. You have finished the presentation dot at 5:30, so that's wonderful. The chat box is open, so for everybody who wishes to ask a question, can please type it in the chat box. Does anybody have a question that they wish to type in the chat box? So I think while the questions are being formulated, perhaps I can ask you, Dr. Sumeet, in terms of helping, I think this is a great initiative in terms of helping not just the rural communities develop, but also giving the farmers a better livelihood in terms of, you know, guiding them in the right way and so on and so forth. So just a question for you. Does CSIR assist in terms of from start to finish of helping them set everything up? Like, is it like a incubation that you provide, or is it just the scientific knowledge in terms of how the fields should be developed and what they should be, you know, in the fields that they have, what they can cultivate? Is that guidance just given?
So this particular project is one of its kind of a project where what we have a lot of different verticals. So our aim is not just to give them the plant or just train them to grow certain aromatic crop. What we do is first our scientists, they visit their land, they see the suitability of the crop based on the environmental conditions and land conditions, water conditions. These crops are given. As well as then we run these skill development programs where we teach them or train them in the especially growing these crops as well as processing of these crops. So once these crops are processed, so since as I told you, so most of these farmers are small or very small farmers who do not have any capital. So we make a cluster of these farmers, and like if we have like 20 farmers and 20 farmers are growing certain crop, let's say lemongrass on 20 acres, will form their cluster. Install distillation unit free of cost at the centralized location. Out of these 20 farmers, 3, 4 or 5 farmers who are progressive or young boys or girls who are interested, will train them in, will give them advanced training where they'll be trained in the not only the processing as well as in the value addition and product development part. So once they make their product like at the smaller scale, will support them by connecting them with the industry. So in a sense, as such, incubating the farmer or entrepreneurs is not in the mandate of the project. But for that, we have different other divisions at CSIR where we connect them to like the technology business incubator schemes and other schemes are there. So basic aim is not only to develop a farmer, our aim is to develop agri-entrepreneurs. So basically, this is what we are doing.
Nice, that's wonderful. And which is the, I mean, of all the crops or the aromatic plants, which one is relatively easy to grow?
So basically, when we selected these crops, we had 4 things in mind. First, crop which has either exporting value or importing value. Either we are importing it from outside just to substitute that, or if it has international market demand. This was one criteria. For that, we had meeting with the industry where they suggested that you should grow these particular crops. Second, the crop should be low demanding crop, hardy crop. All of these crops, they are low demanding hardy crops that they will require little amount of water. Once established, they'll not require much water. Even if there is drought or other things, they can survive. If land is not very productive, they'll still survive. Production will be lower, but still they'll survive. Pest infestation is very low in very rare cases. So all these crops, as such, their selection is such that most of them, they all are basically does not require much input from the farmer side, and output is relatively higher than their traditional crops.
Nice. So we have a question. How much production of essential oils? I think how much is produced in terms of essential oils?
So there are different essential oils like citrus oil for different other oils. So for each oil, production is different. In case of mint oil, menthol mint, India is one of the largest exporter. 4,000 hectares area is under cultivation. In case of lavender oil, most of the 99% oil is imported. So like in this particular mission, we have just stepped up the production of lavender oil. Currently, like around 3 tons of oil is produced in India, but demand is much more than that. Like 400-500 tons of lavender oil is required in India. So the market is there. Production will depend on the oil and its market demand. So for different oil, production values may differ. Yes.
Okay. Any other question that are coming up? So I think this is giving me a great inspiration to try and see if I can. Lavender is one of my favorite scents, so I'm going to see if it's possible to grow in our home. We used to have it earlier on the premises. We used to have a plant of lavender, but I think after COVID, the plant sort of. So we have to find another way in order to have lavender around, because when you pass by it, the whiff, it smells so the smell is very beautiful, and as a result of that, you sort of get into a good mood right away. So you're working in a very nice area, I must say. It's a very, very nice area, Dr. Sumeet.
Yes.
So if nobody has any other questions. Okay. All right. So in essence, our next webinar will be our 7th in the series, and it was scheduled for Friday, which is October 28th at 4:30 p.m. We'll share all the details later. And until then, I'd like to thank everybody who joined us for the call. I know that exam season is amongst us, so wish you all the very best to teachers and students and the parents alike for the exams. And especially wishing the students all the very best. I'd like to thank our partners at CSIR-NIScPR, Mr. Singh, Dr. Suman, Dr. Farhat. I believe you all are online. So thank you so very much for helping us put this program together. And I cannot thank Dr. Sumeet enough for joining us, again, echoing sentiments from Mr. Singh. Short notice, and I think there's a lot going on in terms of Foundation Day at CSIR-NIScPR as well. And of course, with our busy schedules, for taking the time, putting a presentation across and helping us understand about the Purple Revolution in Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you so very much, Dr. Sumeet.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and have a great evening. And if I do get around to having those lavender plants once again come up, we'll send you photographs.
Of course, you are most welcome. You can have plants from us also.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really lovely. Have a very good evening, everybody. Dr. Sumeet, thank you once again. Dr. Singh, if you're online, would you like to, I think, perhaps not. All right. So we will, I think there's another, thanks, sir. Well, everybody's thanking you, sir. So thank you once again so very much. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sumeet. Thank you.